Hi guys! Hello! Say yay! Welcome to another episode of Tea Talk with Goodness Usman, and I'm super excited to be here with you all. I hope you're excited to join us again on another episode. Yes, before we go right into it, you know how we roll. For those of you who already know about this show, this is what we already know the culture. But for those who this is their very first time of watching or coming across this show, this is what we do on the show. We get a glass of water, a cup of tea, a glass of wine, whatever it is that is convenient for you, wherever you are, you get it, and then join me. Let's have this tea talk. Yes, it's a show where we discuss a lot about real estate investment, most especially in the Nigerian real estate market. So, yes, I advise you if you're aware you're not sure that you're going to get your utmost attention. I mean, you can't have undivided attention right now. I think you should put this video on to watch later. And then when you are more in a relaxed mood, you should watch it because I don't want you to miss out on anything that we're going to be discussing. You might just miss out on and a very vital information, especially when you are a real estate investor or you are an intending real estate investor in this market in Nigeria. So hey, shall we? Let's go. Oh, wow. Aha. It's always a great pleasure anytime I sip or drink my green tea. Yes. You all already know that I'm a lover of green tea. So, it's no longer news. Anyway, let's get into the subject or the topic of today or the topic of the day. Hmm. This is due to popular demand. I mean, a lot of people, this seems to be a question at the lip of every investor, even intended investors. I mean, this is the reason why you invest, right? So today's topic, we're going to be talking about ROI, return on investment. How shorter or how long? When are you supposed to get a return on your investment? I mean, when it comes to return, how visible is this return? How quick can one get ROI on their investments when they are investing in Nigeria real estate market? Now, this is a very sensitive topic, but note that I always discuss this, I always have this conversation with you guys based on my own opinion and research. So I am not the master of knowledge, okay? I might be wrong, you might be right, you might know better than me in this topic. So if you know better than me, please put it in the comment section. Let me learn from you as well. You know, I always say it that I always try to learn from everybody every day. So hey, I might learn something new from you. Don't say because you're not a real estate, you're not a realtor, you're not a real estate consultant, so you don't have, oh please, you can have a better opinion. And it actually might work. You might be more practical than I am, but I'm speaking from what I know. So it means that what I know might be limited, but I try as much as to base all of my conversation with you guys here, not just on my experience only, but also on my research. All right, so shall we? Let me now warn you guys again. Or rather, let me put a disclaimer out there. Just I think I just did a disclaimer now, but let me just say it again that this is a very sensitive topic. I'm not a financial analyst. Okay, yeah. I'm a realtor. So that you're gonna remember that when you are trying to, you know, we know we have financial and investment analysts, right? I'm not an investment analyst, even though I try to just, know a bit and pieces of it, but this is me based on my own experience and bit of my research. Now, When we talk about ROI, when should anyone, an investor, get return on their investment? Now, this is what I would say, that this also depends on what you're investing in. Okay, I see people want to know the projection. People make certain projections that are not real, and people also expect certain projections that are also not real. So when you're saying you want to come into a market, of course, you should, as an investor, you should know how much you're going to get, and you should have a timeline. I'll take that again. As a real estate investor, you should know how much your money that you're putting in will get you, it will fetch you, and what timeline. So you should have a specific timeline in 6 months, in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years. Now, all of that is what is the norm, is what is supposed to be the ideal thing. But the truth is, that is more ideal in a more structured environment. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know what I mean. So if you're investing in a more stable, less volatile, less porous environment, less interesting, less challenging environment like Nigeria, maybe a UAE, maybe a UK, a US market, where else, where else, where else? You know what I mean, right? If you're in those markets, it's really easier to project the ROI and then get it almost at that exact figure. But for us here in the Nigerian real estate market, you guys know me, right? That I'm real. I just say it the way it is. I don't think that most of our projections, some comes out right. Most of the time, it does not come out right. Sometimes, rather, it doesn't come out as we project. But of course, it's still okay to project. Now, we see a lot of projections out there that are also not real. They are not realistic, to be honest. You see some projections, some people will tell you if you put your money in a certain location, you're going to get, your ROI will be 200% in 1 year. And to be factual, when I hear stuff like that in such a location, I'm like, no, 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 I don't think that is realistic. Even though some are very, very realistic. So yes, it's not 100% thing that you can be able to say, okay, when people call me and say, goodness, when I put my money in Abijo, tell me how much I intend to get in 3 months, in 1 year. The truth is, in an ideal situation, I should be able to tell you, and there are situations that I will be able to tell you what your ROI will be in 6 months. Now, these are projections, mind you. It doesn't mean that it will be 100% accurate. It can be lesser and it can be above. That is why it is called a projection. Now, but there are some places that I can't really make a projection. And now let's divide this. Now let's break this down into two sections. There are two sections to this thing. Now there are areas where you easily have a particular, a certain projection is based on location. So I'm telling you to invest in, let's use Ekpe for instance. Now I'm telling you to invest in Ekpe. Maybe you're buying a land. I'm advising you to buy a certain land in Ekpe, and you want me to tell you what your ROI will be in 1 year, in 6 months. Realistically, I probably won't able to give you an exact figure. Now, I will be able to give you a projection, but the figure now, I won't be able to say 50%. Maybe why I'm saying so is because I'm a very realistic person. Now, but if you want to use general projection, I probably will just tell you within a range. But a lot of the time, when you look at locations like that, why is it difficult for me to give you a certain percentage when it comes to your ROI? Is because, and most importantly, in a shorter period of time. Now, in a longer duration, it will be convenient. It will be so easy and realistically for me to tell you, oh, so in 2 years' time, you should be able to get maybe 100%, 50% as it were. But when you want to invest in a place like Ekpe and you want your projection to be in 6 months, I think it is not really very realistic, to be honest, in terms of percentage. But this is what is realistic. Please don't get, I don't want you guys to misconstruct or misunderstand this conversation. This is me really, really being a very realistic person. Now, it is me trying to be real. It's me trying to guide your projections and expectation. Now, not just your projection, your expectation. So this is me trying to do like emotional intelligence. I'm trying to manage your emotions and your expectation, because I've seen cases in this business year in, year out. Some realtors tell investors XYZ, and then lo and behold, the time comes and pass, and then sometimes the property is still at the same value. Oh gosh. And then, he arises question, people start asking question and all of that. Now, it's not really the fault of the realtor sometimes. It's because people want to hear, I don't know. Okay, so maybe it's the fault of some of the realtors. So, but this is, I know what I do is what some people don't like. So yeah, I'm just trying to manage your expectations. So that's the essence of all of this. Trying to just, make sure that you are investing and also your LD, because there's a time where you would have too much high expectation for your investment, and then you start having health issues. It doesn't make any sense. You should be able to invest and also enjoy a good life. I mean, really, when you get your ROI, you should come and meet you in good health, not that you are hypertensive because you have invested. So this is why I try to manage expectations, but also realistically at the same time, but also tell you what your ROI will be. So in a place like Ekpe, it might be a bit difficult for me to tell you on a shorter, the ROI you're going to get on a shorter term. Now, because that location is actually for a long term. Okay, let me use some land we sold in Ibejuleki 2 years ago. Now they have grown to the actual value. Now, there is actual value, there's manufactured value, right? Now, they have grown in ROI to over 100%. That is in 2 years. Okay, so that is a bit of a long time. So I tell people that when you want to invest in real estate, the truth is real estate investment, for you to truly optimize your ROI, to truly get the benefit of you investing, I don't think is much of a short term. It's more done on a long term. To be honest, all over the world, if you look at it, you see all of these world-known billionaires, wealthy people, they've invested over the years. You see them buy a parcel, acres of land, and they come and value the acres of land or the house or the mansion for a certain amount of money. If you look at the duration at which they had bought the property, sometimes it's between 10 to 15 years. Some even is even in 20 years for them to get to that value. So what I'm also saying to you in essence on this episode is that a lot of the time, to truly get that ROI you want, or that ROI they told you about, that we are sold to you, it takes time. Okay, I said it, real estate investment is not for the people that are not patient. If you're not a patient human being, then you will get it wrong when you're investing in real estate. Real estate investment requires patience. It is just the truth, but nothing but the truth. Okay, if you really want to face it, like, let's face it, really realistically, it takes time. I mean, acquiring a land, even if you want to build your own house, if you acquire the land, pay for the land, get your allocation, and then even if it's instant allocation, even when you're going to build, it's still all within nothing less than 1 year to 2 years if you're not careful, even with your cash. Because there are procedures, right? You have to follow some procedures. You have to even get approval from the government, building approval, da 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 da. So many things are involved. So really, please, if you're watching me and you're this person who thinks, oh, I want to put 10 million in 3 months, I want to get 50 million out. Well, maybe you have to really, really sit down and check out the kind of real estate investment you would do. But if it's this regular land buying a land and then getting return on your investment on a land, to be honest, it requires more time. So having said that, now back to this ROI. If you want so what I'm basically saying to you today is that when it comes to ROI, it depends on the investment. What type of investment are you doing? So let me give you an example here. You have money right now. You want to buy a plot of a building in Lekki phase 1, right? And then you bring out the money. When you're doing your evaluation, so maybe you're putting in 200 million naira. And then the question is, what do you want to do with the house? Do you want to live with it? Of course, if you want to live in the house, ROI is not so much in question, because those are for a bit of an emotional, sentimental, or whatever class of value we're going to put that. Now, but when you're talking about investment, so you want to buy a particular building and you want to put it on rent, or you want to put it on short let, then you can get a very shorter, close to home when it comes to short-term investment. That is where you can get a short-term investment, because the house you're buying, a ready house. Number one, you're not buying a house that is on off plan, so you're buying a ready house, ready made. It means that you have your cash and carry. Maybe it's 200 million naira, you're putting in 200 million naira. At that point, you should be able to calculate how much is going to come back to you in 6 months. There is no 3 months. It's not going to come back to you in 3 months. Okay, so let's do the maths together, or let's do the analysis together. You buy the house right now. Before you conclude the deal of buying the house, the documentation, all that, it will still take you within 1 week to 2 weeks, right? Now, when you're done buying the house, the keys or handover has been done to you. You're going to move in and come and do interior decoration. Then the interior decoration person might take 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. Everything is still under 1 month. Then by the time you start, you put everything together, you get a generator, you put it on, it's ready, you start doing marketing about it and saying, okay, you want to decide the agent that is involved for you, the agent that will be doing the marketing, or you are doing the marketing yourself. By the time you look at all of those process, before your money starts coming in, before you even start earning the first money, it's under 3 months. Now, the first money you're earning under 3 months is still not your money back. Because if that's the first 100,000 naira, maybe the first person that rented the shortlet for a night paid 100,000 or 200,000. Did you buy the house for 200,000? The whole money put into the investment, is it 200,000? So if you look at it too, even when you're running a shortlet, your money, your ROI does not come back to you in 6 months. It's still going to take a year to 2 years. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to ROI, there is no really, on a very realistic, practical mood, there is no short term. We just use the word short term loosely. I want to put in my money. I want to short out. When best can I get my money back? When best can I get my money back? I know, right? We all want to put our money into something and get it back. But I'm saying to you that as much as you want to get your money back, you have to be realistic so that you don't give yourself hypertension in the process. I mean, reduce your expectation. Whether you like it or not, real estate still take time. So the shortest I'm looking at, from my own experience, on the little I've done, I realized that it's still under 1 year. 1 year, 2 years, if you're not careful, even on shortlet. Because stop calculating your ROI based on when money started coming in. No, it is when you can get your actual investment in, and then that's when you start calculating your profit. So if you look at it too, it's still under 2 years. How this breakdown is not going to discourage some people. I can see some people shaking their head and doing goodness. Hey, are you serious? Is the practical truth. So really, to be honest, it takes someone of patience, someone that is patient, to invest in real estate. And why am I driving this my point home? Why am I saying this to you guys? Because I see people get agitated. I see some people buy land in Ibejuleki. 1 year down the line, they want to sell it off without any emergency. And I'm like, I don't understand. Why did you invest in the first place? Please note, when you're investing in fast growing environment, it is best that you keep those property for a while. I'm not really talking about houses now. I'm talking about land. A lot of these places are for land banking. Let's be realistic. I mean, even properties that are lands that we sold in Meridian Boulevard, 3 years down the line, some people have not even come to build their house. The people that are even building, some are just concluding their building, some are just starting their foundation. If you look at all of this process, because I mean, you have other things you're doing apart from that. You're not a real estate developer. So whether we like it or not, realistically, real estate investment takes time. It requires patience. It requires, what's the word now? I'm looking for another word apart from patient. I mean, you have to be rugged, you have to be robust, you have to be, I mean, it's a real estate investment is a feature, is a long-term thing. So if you're always into real estate with a short-term mindset, I am encouraging you to try tone down the long term and then look at it at a long run. Because I mean, really, we hear stories of people who bought land in Aja 15 years ago at a certain crazy amount of money, and right now Aja is selling at 40, 50 million naira range. It was not yesterday, right? It was over the years. Lekki phase one, we heard the story of Ikoyi, we heard the story of Ikeja. All of these stories we have been told, or we know. Maryland, all of these stories are not in within a day. It wasn't within a year. They are all long term. So when you see people getting agitated about their ROI in Ekpe, about in Bejuleki, about even Bogije, all this Aja, I just say you have to know why you're getting into real estate investment for the long term. Remember that we advise you to buy these lands now that they are in fast growing environment and they are still affordable. So it means that it will still take a while. I'm not saying it's going to take generations or decades, but come on, I'm saying ideally you should go into real estate investment with the expectation of between 3 to 5 years, even if you are buying a house, especially the houses on off plan. First of all, let's start with your payment plan. What if your payment plan is to 18 months? You chose a 18-month payment plan and you are still asking me, imagine this question. Somebody wants to buy a house in the avocado and then you're asking me, goodness, when can I be give me the ROI? And I'm like, first of all, you chose 18 months. So it means that that house will not be ready until after 18 months, maybe 20 months time. Let's give the company another 2 months or 3 months to deliver your house. So it means that we're still under 2 years. It is until then we can calculate based on what we have right now. But we can't get the real value until the house is ready and then know what the rental value is there. But please don't misconstruct me or don't get me wrong. I know that we can use what is obtainable now, the rental value around the area and everything to do our projections. But just stay safe. Know that it's just a projection. A projection is usually plus or minus. But I see some people come and they want to stay with a projection. Oh, they told me it's 200%. Was the person realistic about the 200% ROI in 2 years? Or the person was just making a over exaggerated, because there are exaggerated ROIs that I see in the market and me, I'll just laugh about it. So you as an investor, you need to equip yourself. First of all, know that you have to be a patient person. You have to be patient with your investment. You have to be very realistic with the ROI you have been told. So even if I'm coming to tell you, or one realtor is coming to tell you about some sort of ROI, you should be able to say, okay, do a plus and minus, and then be in a bit of the safe zone. Yeah, I know that investment also requires risk. So I hope you are able to get my point, and I hope this point makes sense to you. You have to be a risk taker if you're investing in real estate. You have to be a patient person and know this. Going into real estate investment is more on a longer term. Stop going into real estate investment for a short term. I've explained even the short term. Even the short term is still not a short term like the way you guys expect. Except if you are financing. Even if you are financing a developer, you want to do joint venture. You know, somebody comes in and say you are the money bag, you drop your money, and then in 6 months they tell you are going to get XYZ amount of money. Plus and minus, 6 months is still ending up 1 year. So real estate is not like a money doubling kind of, the way some people see real estate, they see like, yes, we tell you that is the most solid way of generating wealth, of increasing your net worth, of building your net worth. But building net worth is not in a day, it's not in 1 month. You cannot build net worth in 6 days. Nígbà tá à ń ṣe money doubling torí Ọlọ́run. If you're going to use it to build your net worth, it requires time. It's over the years. You buy 2 property, you own 4 property. When they evaluate the amount of the properties you have, the value, if they do a valuation on your properties, that is what results in your net worth. It's not the car you own, it's the property assets that you own. So maybe you own a company that is producing, they're doing well, they have shares and all of that. Those are the things they will put together, put the value together, and then it becomes your net worth is being determined. So if you look at it too, it's not a Shere Kambia kind of a thing. It's not a back kind of a thing. It's not a short-term thing. So whether you're building wealth for generations unborn or the generations are already existing, it still takes time. So that's what I just say I should say to you guys. Like I said earlier, I hope it makes any sense to you. But if you look at it from another angle, because trust me, on a particular subject matter, there's always different angles to it. My opinion can be different from yours. Please put your opinion in the comment section. I want to learn from you guys. Challenge me. Let me see what it is that you think. And then I can, what I say challenge me, it means that if I see it differently, I'm going to ask more questions. I'm going to do more research. Because really, it's all about knowing and keep growing in wealth of knowledge over and over. And a lot of you on this channel, you guys are gurus. You're investment bankers. Some of you are into investment banking. You guys are, come on now. So, pour me your knowledge as well. But this is just my own opinion and from my own angle and from what I've seen, I've studied and this is not investors in Nigerian market only. This is all over the world. I mean, the bigger guys that we all know, that we all admire. If you look at their portfolios, how long they've hold on to a property that Forbes eventually evaluated, you realize that even the companies that they own, that they evaluated at a certain amount of millions of dollars, you realize that it's not a company of 1 year. Yeah, we see tech guys come up 1 year, they can evaluate them as but how many of these big boys own tech only? Huh? You're owning a tech, and then maybe you're owning oil well somewhere, and then you put real estate at the end of the day. Because even the company that you own the building that the company is existing on, Abi, that they are operating for, that's still real estate. So every rich guy out there owns real estate. But it doesn't what? It doesn't come back. The return does not come back in a very short time. There are some that you will invest in under 1 year. Wow, you're cashing out. You can sell it. I get that. But I'm saying on a longer run, it is best going into real estate investment on a long-term mindset. So I hope I've been able to add value to you today. Yes, like I said, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you disagree, it's okay, but share your opinion with me. Let me learn from you as well. Thank you so much for watching the video today. Thank you for joining us on today's episode. I hope, really do hope that I didn't waste your time. I hope it was totally worth your time. My name remains Goodness Usman. Of course, I am your Fab Lady Realtor for Nigeria Realty 24/7. I'll see you guys at the next episode. But until then, please ensure that you remain safe and awesome just the way you are. And don't forget that I'm here to help you, guide you through your real estate investment journey. Yes, I'm going to hold your hands, put all the cards on the table realistically, show you all the figures, show you all the facts you need to know before buying into that property. Because at the end of the day, you being happy with your investment is the most important thing for me. So hey, if you're yet to patronize me, please do so today. I encourage you to put a call through to me now so that I can start your real estate investment journey. If you want to pot, it's allowed. Potting is allowed. In case you have a realtor that is not that is not efficient enough, come and meet the efficient ones. Yes, yes, I know, right? Yeah, you're welcome as well. Potting is allowed. You migrate to Goodness Usman is also allowed. Anyway, that's by the wayside. Thank you so much once again. I appreciate everyone that watched this show all the time that we put in. Thank you. It's great having you guys here, even though I can't see you, but I can see that you guys are watching it. Please don't also hesitate to share this video with your friends and your family. I mean, you'll be adding a value to someone just next to you just by sharing this video. Don't also forget to subscribe, like, and like I said, share this video. So I'll see you guys on the next episode, but I have to go now. So I say to you, oh, double.